Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I had expectations with the season 2 finale, but unfortunately there were a few good moments and a major issue I had in this finale. I will discuss them and know that this is my critical standpoint and you could agree or disagree of what is about to be said. Let us begin, shall we, class? The scene starts where Stolas wakes up in the same manner as he did in the circus episode. I think that was funny, and there was a moment where Blitz was cooking for Stolas, and can I say, they wrote Blitz's character growth in this episode beautifully. Now, I want to clarify, change doesn't magically happen overnight and it takes time, and yes, Blitz will continue to make more screw-ups, but damn, it was good to see Blitz actually have some character growth and realizing that yes, he needs to stop being selfish and not think about himself and think about others and be genuine and not be a piece of garbage. Let this man cook in this episode, class. We see that Stolas is learning to cope with being a normal person, not having the status or powers of an Ars Goetia. We see him act like a spoiled brat, going through a mental episode throughout the episode, even though I wasn't a big fan of him acting like a diva that lost their money, but you kind of feel a little remorseful for the guy, especially when he was trying to get in touch with his daughter. We'll get into her in a minute. But seeing him working at IMP and answer the phone is kind of funny, and I did get a chuckle from his first time answering the phone. Now, I won't get into more detail of the bomb drop of Millie getting pregnant because I just find it not surprising. Who knows, maybe I might make a video discussing on that topic along with Millie as a character in general throughout the series. But moving on, we did get some great scenes like where Blitz and IMP try to assassinate a family that a Karen demanded them to kill, but instead Blitz sees himself, Stolas, and their daughters together, and honestly, I genuinely cried a bit in the scene. This shows that Blitz genuinely believes that this type of job was not worth it, even if they did get paid to do it. It shows more of Blitz's character growth and know what is right and what is wrong and what is a line not to cross, and he genuinely sees that this job is not worth finishing. Even Moxie agreed with it, and seeing that the family was genuine and not secretly monsters like the family from the first episode of the series. The scene shows where Blitz pictures himself, Stolas, Luna, and Octavia together, shows us what we the audience see. What Blitz wants is a happy family spending the holidays together. I love this scene, and I also love where Blitz throws the Karen out the window. The final battle with IMP and Adrelvis was epic, and the animation is beautifully fluid and wonderfully done, and the music in the background has that epicness that gets you hooked, and seeing Stolas punching Adrelvis made me laugh, and my god, look at this face. Please make a meme out of this, someone, please. And after the battle, we see the confrontation of Octavia and Stolas, and okay, cut the music. Okay, I'm going to discuss this scene, and I have major issues with this scene, but I want to clarify, I do understand where Octavia is coming from, and mind you all, she is 17 years old and is still considered a kid. So I'm going to try not to be an asshole for what I'm about to say, and put myself in both hers and Stolas' perspectives. So with that being said, let's discuss this scene. The scene where Stolas hugs Octavia was squandered when Octavia snaps and yells at her father that he never loved her mom nor loved her. Wait a fucking minute. Never loved you? Are you fucking kidding me? Octavia, I'm sorry, what planet are you on, sweetie? Seriously, do you not hear how stupid you sound? I'm sorry your dad doesn't love you? Girl, he tried to call you throughout this episode, but your horrible bitch of a mother snapped your phone and did everything in her power to keep you apart from him. And wait a fuck, what about the time that he took you to Lululand? Granted, you were a little too old, but at least he was trying to rekindle the good memory you had when you were a child. And wait a fucking minute, if he doesn't love you, why the hell would he go to the human world looking for you when you deliberately endangered yourself all because you wanted to see the stupid meteor shower? Like, are you fucking kidding me? If he didn't care, then why was he so worried sick about your well-being when he was stripped of his rank during the trial in the Mastermind episode? Maybe if you shut your fucking mouth and listened to your father for a second, maybe you would have understood why your father took the pills. It wasn't because of you, so get that idea of him using medication because of you. He took them because of his depression. So please, get that delusional crap out of your goddamn skull and shut the fuck up, because that is the stupidest thing to assume. Now, again, I understand that she is a kid, class, and assuming the worst of your dad is something that no one should go through, and I completely understand her not trusting her dad because of the false promises he made throughout the series. But the fact remains is that she is not listening to her father out on why he was taking the pills in the first place. Nor was he able to get in touch with her throughout the episode. There was no communication. This series has a very huge problem with this concept issue throughout the series. That's the biggest problem. This got me really angry that I want to smack the crap out of her. Now, I don't care what you late Gen Z's gonna make comments saying that's child abuse. No, that's called giving someone you're gonna fucking learn today treatment, and I'm not apologizing for saying so. Look, I know I'm being a bit of a jerk right now, and people in the comments are gonna probably have a field day of what I just said, but I'm not the only one who feels like that this scene was executed poorly. I do not like how this confrontation was handled, and again, I do understand where Octavia is coming from, and yes, I understand that she is a minor and minors will act like children, but this scene was not executed and it was not handled right. I guess this is just my critical opinion about this scene, so take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. The scene goes on where Stolas is in a complete state of depression, not showing any emotions whatsoever, not even when Blitz is genuinely comforting him, and he is convinced that Octavia hates him, and after 100 years, he would be like a complete stranger to her. Okay, Stolas, I think you're being a little hyperbolic in that remark, and I love how Blitz decided to dance with him in the patio. It was a sweet and calming atmosphere in the scene, and the music being played was nicely put, and it makes a very nice holiday vibe, and the episode ends with a very depressive, gloomy manner. Okay, now with the episode being done and discussed about that, I'm gonna go back to discussing mostly about the interaction between Octavia and Stolas. I want to say this again. I'm going to try to put myself in their shoes, or should I say their talons in their case. I do understand Octavia's frustrations with Stolas not trying to interact with her or even getting to know her, but I felt that she was only focused on her selfish needs of wanting Stolas to acknowledge her 24/7. I'm sorry to break it to you, Octavia, that's not how it works. Parents cannot be with their kids 24/7. Sure, they need to be part of the key elements in your life, like getting your first job, getting a date, going to a prom, or your graduation, or even your own wedding or the birth of your own kids. But they do not need to be focused solely on your daily basis. They need their own priorities and their own personal space. Now, I will clarify, I understand that Octavia wants Stolas a part of her life, and that is completely understandable. And I can totally relate to that. She feels like all he is doing is making false promises and not keeping his word and not being part of her life, because I know majority of people stated as such in their own take in this finale. But the problem is Stolas wanted to be part of her life, and the reason why he endured Stella's BS and cruelty and abuse was so Octavia could have a normal life, and he wanted to give her a stable home and a stable family. He made so much sacrifices for her, and this scene completely shows he is taking his sacrifices and taking a giant shit on them and throwing it back in his face. That all he endured was for nothing. All he suffered for was for nothing. Now, I know I might get comments saying, but how is she supposed to know the sacrifices he made for her? Here's the thing, class. Octavia never let Stolas communicate with her, nor was there any form of communication during this confrontation. It has a big issue of lack of communication with characters in the series, which I'm not surprised given how Viv has this issue of not making communication a key element. You need to fix this problem, Viv. I'm sorry, but what you're doing is not humorous, nor is it relatable. You need to proofread your scripts. You, along with the storyboard writers and script writers, need to actually do your fucking job and make this series better. If you ask me, you only care about the Hazbin Hotel series, not this show. Get your shit together. Add communication as well as character growth, which, yeah, Viv, you lack on this element with certain character growth in certain characters in this show. Perfect example, Millie, which, yes, class, I will discuss about this big elephant in the room in the future, but we shall see. But I honestly feel like Viv is not even trying to put any effort in this series, because it's not like the Hazbin Hotel, which unfortunately, class, that is what is basically happening with the Hazbin Hotel series, because this show is a YouTube series, while the Hazbin Hotel is an Amazon series, which Amazon is one of the big corporate companies. And because the Hazbin Hotel's success, Viv is putting more effort in a series that is making more revenue than the Helluva Boss series. It is what it is, but we're getting off topic, class, so let's just continue on with the point. Now, Stolas is not a saint either. He did make false promises throughout the series. He did went back on his word and did not focus on Octavia. For example, he did promise to take her to see the meteor shower when she was a little kid. However, years later, we see Stolas dealing with divorce procedures, which now I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he should still remember the meteor shower even though the divorce was happening. Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, class. That's not how divorce procedures or dealing with serious situations work. Those with divorced families can tell you it is a difficult and long process, like dealing with custody rights, dealing with what is the ex's possessions, and the move-out fees, the court hearings. It is a long, hard process, and it is also time-consuming. So you know what? We're going to give Stolas a pass on this one because he did generally forgot because he was dealing with the divorce procedures with Stella, which is not easy, and it is sudden and hard. I understand that Octavia was hurt and she was being forgotten, and even though Stolas was not deliberately hurting her, but he did promise her and he did not keep it, so she went to the human world and nearly put herself in danger, but she was pushed into a position of having no one to defend her and wanted away from her problems and trying to cope with her feelings and the fact that she felt abandoned. Now remember, class, she is a child. She has a lot to learn, that not everything is about her, and learning that we cannot always get what we want. However, she has to learn that she cannot run away from her problems. That is not how it works. You need to face serious situations head on and face it maturely and responsibly. You are forgetting that Stella was the biggest mastermind throughout the series. She was a controlling, manipulative cunt that she is, and her closet gay brother was also the mastermind too. And hopefully we will see Karma kicking them in the ass in season 3. We shall see. The point is, I know a lot of people would agree or disagree with everything that is being said in this video, but I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from in my critical output in this season 2 finale episode. How the interaction with Octavia and Stella's was done very poorly and should have been having more communication, which again, communication is a key element in reality as well as character growth in the show. Now, I want to clear this up because I know a lot of you are going to make this assumption. I have nothing against Viv or anyone involved in the Helluva series, but I have issues of how they handle the series, handle the characters, and handle the story plot so far. They really need to get their shit together and put effort into season 3, and maybe take what is being said by online critics and put some effort into what is being said and making sure that the series, we shall see, class. That's all I have to say. So I give this season 2 finale of Helluva a 3.5 out of 5. I am Ben Mazza. May the force be with you all, and take care.